Peter Cantone. You are listening to the Huguenot Hour. I want to thank my sponsors, All County Spray Foam Solutions. If you need spray foam, give Michael Zack a call at 516-665-9928. We are on here every Monday from 4 to 5 p.m., 1460 on your AM dial or worldwide at WVOX.com. The Huguenot Hour is about this school district and the Westchester County's school districts. We are here with Dr. Fajos. She is the next superintendent starting November 1st. We're excited to have her here in the studio. I also want to just say, I want to thank the C&B Contracting, another sponsor of mine, Billy Lockheed. If you have to build a house, if you need masonry work, excavation, sheeting, pipe piling, underpinning, tiebacks, restoration of roads, asphalt, milling, paving, etc., any type of construction work, Billy Lockheed can handle it. Give him a call at 718-618-7630. Make sure you mention my name, Peter Cantone. I also want to thank Fashion Auto Body Stillwell. He's in Stillwell Avenue, Bronx, New York. Ask for Frank Mondrone. Accidents happen in Fashion Auto Bodies here where you want to bring it. 718-823-7908. Ask for Frank. He will take good care of you. All right, we have a caller, our first caller, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Good, good. How are you? Lisa, how are they segregating? What do you mean? Well, who do you... Lisa, listen. Yeah, Lisa, I totally, I'm listening to you, but what I think you're missing is that when we talk about after-school programs and summer programs, these are all programs to close the achievement gap. That's if you haven't understood that, I'm not really sure how we can help you out. Okay. All right, well, Dr. Fay would like to say something.
So I think it's a little bit of a combination of both things, right? There are opportunities outside the school day, which was specific to the question that I was asked and answered, but we also talked about how do you know when kids are falling behind in some? How are we looking at, you know, kids that are on grade level by third grade? What are we doing to assess where students are? Teachers are using a reading system in which they're doing one-to-one conferencing for kids to ensure that where there are gaps, starting as early as pre-K and kindergarten, that we are trying to address them. And from what I'm looking at, and believe me, it's just data now, I can't say from any physical, tangible experience I've had in the classrooms, because I've not been there yet, but things are progressing in some places, and other places absolutely need more work. We need more academic intervention and support for teachers right in the classrooms to ensure that we're making those gains to get kids on grade level as soon as possible. So let me just say, I did talk a little bit about the DREAM program as it relates to the specialized high school, and one of the things I did say is even if it didn't materialize to create more kids of color in the specialized high school, it did, I know. I'm well aware there were 8 last September, and that's unacceptable, and I think, I won't speak for the New York City Department of Education, but you can certainly Google and find the mayor and the chancellor are very well aware and taking plenty of steps in that direction. The program I described, even if students didn't make, and they didn't make specialized high schools in a lot of cases because that number didn't increase the way anyone would hope it would. It did open up opportunities for kids to look at different schools that were selected, look at their local schools, be critical about the schools they wanted to go to and match to, as well as be more prepared for those opportunities when they get there. So we really did prepare kids for a better high school selection process and experience in this program, even if the ultimate goal wasn't reached, which is those specialized high schools.
I mean, I think we're talking about measurables too. There's so many different ways to measure things. It's not just a matter of like how many kids are getting into a certain specific class, right? There's different ways of measuring things, and we don't know the backgrounds and where the kids are coming from and the social emotional learnings and stuff that they've gone through. We all go through some rough times and stuff that it's almost impossible.
We can always do better. We can always do better. We can always do more. Well, I think there's a lot of people that want to work on that. Absolutely.
Well, this is just me introducing Dr. Feo. Okay, so we're going to have many more dialogues in the future, and we want to keep an open dialogue with everyone. The fact that she's coming in and wants to learn about what's going on here and get a really solid understanding is how real leaders start the process. It's not coming in and dictating stuff. It's coming in and gathering information, figuring out where we're failing, where we're great at, and then coming up with solutions. And that's basically what it comes down to.
Thank you.
So, and with your input and everybody else's input, It's always good information, like your input and everybody else's input, it's always good. As long as we have an open dialogue and she's very receptive to everyone's ideas, and she's, you know, we're all here to succeed, to make the school district succeed, and that means that everyone, all the students have to do well. And that doesn't mean that we have to put a number on an AP class. It means that we have to make sure all the kids succeed. And success there's a different word, different meanings and definitions of success for all different kids. But the key is success. That's the number one word for everyone.
So one of the things I want to make sure I do before I speak about what should be done or could be done is actually get inside the school. So a lot of what I'm talking about is my New York City experience. Some of it, it's only a short show, and I, shared some things. But before I get into the schools with the students and the teachers and the New Rochelle principals, it's hard to speak to what I would do without working alongside them. So the first step is to talk to people. But certainly the more important step is to get into the schools and see what's going on from the perspective and experience I have, as well as value the experience of the principals and the staff who have been there, some of them for years, to be able to come up and brainstorm with solutions that'll get to just some of the things you're talking about.
Lisa, now, yeah, but Lisa, that's not productive, because you're accusing her of character. You're processing her character, and you don't know anything about her. Let's give her a chance. Let's give her the opportunity. She's taking the right approach as far as gathering information. She's doing the right thing as far as getting information and gathering before she dictates anything, right? We have to give her an opportunity. We have to give her that chance. All right, we're gonna have to go for another caller. I'm sorry, Lisa. We have a few more callers coming in. I apologize. We'll just keep the lines of communication open. Hi, Denise. How are you? Okay.
It's Fayho. Yes. I'm not sure the date, 26th.
Denise, if you have an issue with the way she was hired, that's a Board of Ed problem. That's something that you should be confronting the Board of Ed. She has nothing to do with that. It is. That's their decision.
So this is not the introduction anybody ever wants to a new opportunity. It's not one that I wanted to face in terms of being excited about coming to a school community. And I honestly have to tell you, as a part of who I am, I always look at the pathway forward and the opportunity. I always look at things at least half full, and I'm hoping that over time to be able to have people see the 30-year career that I had, and not the one moment in time where I made a decision to do something. There are a lot of things that I have done that I think have supported diversity and equity and the work that I have done in 30 years. And I believe that I agree.
And this has nothing to do with her. I mean, this is, you know, you keep referring, everyone keeps referring, no, it doesn't. She's. No, she doesn't. She has no segregationism. No, she does not. She has no. It doesn't matter what New York City's, that's not what she represents. Okay?
There are.
All right, Denise, I think we've heard this several times already. Do you have another caller, please? I'm sorry. Next. I'm sorry? We have listened to you a million times. Denise, we've listened to you a million times. Just we don't agree with you. That's all. That's all right. You don't need to go away. Stay here. That's fine.
And I hope to be able to demonstrate that to you in the time that I'm here.
Thank you. Mitchell, how are you? Good, good.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Sure. So schools are a part of a school community. It is how we educate our future. People who have students in school, as well as those that don't care about the schools. It is how we define ourselves. It is how we think about our community and our properties and what we want for the future of New Rochelle. And so what I am already doing, before I even started, is taking time off to be able to come here and meet with principals, the Board of Education, and starting to prepare myself in some of the research I've done, because I know New Rochelle has a long history that people know better than me, and I am embedding myself in that history so I can have that context. And with that, I will come to New Rochelle on November 1st with an entry plan to be able to meet in the schools with school community members, as well as electeds and community groups, to be able to understand the context in which the schools sit in on. How exactly I will do that will unfold as I prepare and share my entry plan, but it is absolutely my intention to be a part of the New Rochelle community, because everyone has a voice and everyone cares about schools and students. It is part of who we are as a community.
All I would say, Mitchell, is that I would hope that we have more respect for Dr. Fajo than what we saw at the town hall meeting. That she definitely deserves way more respect from that. Even if you disagree with her, it's okay to disagree with people. But treating her like she was treated was, to me, unacceptable in all accounts. So. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, Pam. Good, how are you?
Hi. Thank you. Yes. So let me just say a couple things on data. One is the data that I have at my fingertips right now is public data that everyone else has. And once I come in November 1st, I will have access to data that is more specific to schools and more detailed on students. And I can really dig in a little bit more about the information that leads us to roll up those big pieces of data that you can find on public websites. But the more important part of that, and I think this is along the lines of what you're thinking, is the context in which we use that data and how we talk about that with people for good, for figuring out how to take next steps. And so each student comes equipped with their own set of data that we need to look at, to work on, and when that rolls up into a problem where there is a number of kids in any category that we need to deal with, we need to work with the people closest to those students to do that, and that's the teachers and the principals inside of schools. So all of the information I have now is just very topical and very high level. I really look forward to digging in November to be able to do all of the work that I know it takes to continue to take steps in New Rochelle.
Dr. Fagan, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks.
It's been amazing. It's great. I hope you come back again.
Absolutely. I'm the premier speaker.
Absolutely. It's
Thanks.
fantastic. It was really great.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. You got an hour. This is Pete Cantone signing off. I want to just thank my sponsors, All County Spray Foam Solutions, CMB Contracting, Fashion Auto Body. Thank you so much for everybody listening in. Let's keep an open mind, an open heart, and a civil dialogue going. A quick shout out, happy birthday Robin Rosenberg, happy birthday Donnie McGuire, happy anniversary to Beth and Darren Feldman, number 23 anniversary.